Hey there, future Python developers. Welcome back to our channel. Are you pulling your hair out because your Python files just won't work? Getting frustrated because you can't find where you saved your code? Or maybe you're staring at error messages wondering why your .py file isn't being recognized. Well, breathe easy because today I'm going to solve the two biggest headaches that stop beginners dead in their tracks: creating proper .py files that actually work and finding your files no matter where they're hiding on your computer. Trust me, I've seen thousands of beginners struggle with these exact same issues, and by the end of this video, you'll never have these problems again. All right, let's jump right in. We're going to start from the very beginning. Right-click on any empty space on your desktop or inside any folder you want. Navigate to New and select Text Document. Perfect. Windows just created a file called New Text Document. Now, here's something interesting. On my computer, I can actually see the file extension, but yours probably doesn't show it. And that's completely normal. Windows hides file extensions by default to keep things looking clean. But here's the thing. For Python development, we absolutely need to see those extensions. So let me show you how to reveal them. Open up this PC. You can find it in your File Explorer. Now go to Layout and View Options, and under the Show section, check the box for File Name Extensions. Now, I need to give you a friendly heads up here. This setting will show extensions for every single file on your computer. That's actually great for us developers, but be careful not to randomly change extensions on files you don't understand. You could accidentally break them and make them unusable. But for text files that we're converting to Python, absolutely perfect and completely safe. Look at that. Now you can see the .txt extension on your new text document file. This is where the magic happens. Time to transform this boring text file into a proper Python file. You have two ways to rename it. Either select the file and press F2 on your keyboard, or simply right-click and choose Rename. I'm going to change this file name to Test and the extension to py. Now, pay close attention to this part because it's super important. There's a dot between the name and extension, and absolutely no extra spaces after that dot. You can have spaces in your file name before the dot, that's totally fine, but never ever put spaces after the dot. If you accidentally put a space before the dot anywhere, your file name becomes something weird like testspace.py instead of what we want. Hit enter, and boom. Windows is going to ask you to confirm this change because you're modifying the file extension. This is actually Windows being helpful. It's protecting you from accidentally breaking files. But we know exactly what we're doing here. We want .py because we're creating a Python file, and this is the first perfect method for changing file extensions. Now, here's something cool. Your file won't open in Notepad by default anymore because Windows knows it's a Python file now. But don't worry, we can easily open it. Right-click on your file and you'll see several options. You might see Edit in Notepad right away, or you can go to Open With and choose Visual Studio Code if you have it installed. You can also click Choose Another App and select Notepad from there. Sometimes you might need to click Show More Options to see the classic menu where Notepad appears. Let's open it and write our first line of code. Print hello. Save that file. See how helpful it is to have file extensions visible? We can instantly confirm what type of file we're working with. Now here comes the problem that drives beginners absolutely crazy, and I bet some of you watching have already experienced this frustration. Sometimes when you save a file from Notepad, instead of getting test.py, you end up with test.py.txt. Notice that extra .txt at the end? Since .txt is the last extension, Windows treats this as a text file, not a Python file. Your code won't run, and you'll be scratching your head wondering what went wrong. Here's the sneaky part. If you haven't enabled file extensions like we did, your file will appear to be named test.py, but it's actually a .txt file in disguise. You can catch this trickery by hovering over the file. It'll say file type text document instead of Python file. If this happens to you, no worries. Just enable file extensions like we showed you, then remove that sneaky .txt from the end of your file name, keeping only up to the .py part. Want to avoid this problem completely when saving from Notepad? Here are two bulletproof methods. Method 1. When saving, change the Save as Type dropdown from Text Documents to All Files, then type your file name with the .py extension. This prevents Notepad from automatically adding .txt. Method 2. Put your entire file name and extension in double quotes when saving. This explicitly tells Windows exactly what you want, and it won't add any extra extensions. Both methods work perfectly, so use whichever feels more comfortable to you. Now let's solve the second major headache, the mysterious case of the missing files. You saved your Python file somewhere, but where on earth did it go? Here's detective method number 1. Right-click on your file and select Properties. In the General tab, you'll see the location clearly displayed. Mine shows it's saved on the desktop. You can even copy this location path if you need it for something else. Detective method number 2 is even cooler. Press Windows key plus R to open the Run dialog. Clear any text that's in there, then drag your file directly into that box. Boom, it shows you the complete path of your file with its extension. Here's where things get really interesting for Python development. When you open Command Prompt from the Start menu or by using the Run command, you don't end up where your file is. You end up in your default user location. Let me show you exactly what's happening. Copy this location path, but exclude those angular brackets by pressing Ctrl plus C. Now open Run by pressing Ctrl plus R, paste the path using Ctrl plus V, and hit Enter. See what happened? The folder that opened is your user folder, and inside it you can see the desktop folder where our test.py file lives. From Command Prompt, you can navigate there using cd desktop. Then use the dir command to see all the files inside desktop. Perfect. There's our test.py file, clean and proper with no trailing .txt extension and no weird spaces. Now you can run your Python code. Type python test.py. Oh, and here's one more common error you might encounter. Look at this. You can see another error message, and it's telling us about unexpected indent. This means you have written some extra spaces before, or somewhere in line 1, as it shows line 1 in the error message. When this happens during your coding, here's exactly what to do. Go back to your notepad, locate those extra spaces in the line that's showing in the command prompt. In my case, that's at the very beginning of line 1. Remove those extra spaces, save the file, and run it again. See how much cleaner that looks now? Python is very particular about spacing, so always keep your code neat and tidy. Excellent, it's working beautifully. But wait, I've got one more incredible trick that's going to blow your mind. Let's say your Python file is stored deep inside your computer, maybe in a folder called Learning or any other folder. Here's the magic. Open that folder where your Python file is located. Look at the very top of the window where the folder path is displayed. Click on any empty space in that address bar, type cmd, and press Enter. Boom! Command prompt opens and it's already set to that exact folder location. How fantastic is that? Now, you can run your Python files directly using the Python command or use dir to see all your files right there. So, how are you doing so far? I hope these tips are making your Python journey so much smoother. Remember, these might seem like small technical details, but mastering these basics will save you countless hours of frustration and confusion. You'll spend more time actually learning Python and less time fighting with files and folders. If you're having any difficulties with anything we covered today, please drop a comment below. I love helping you guys succeed, and your questions often become ideas for future videos. And hey, if this video helped you solve these annoying problems, please hit that like button. It really helps other beginners find this content. Share it with anyone you know who's starting their Python journey. And don't forget to subscribe because we're building an amazing community of Python learners here. And I want you to be part of it. Keep coding, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into Python fundamentals.